Hello, or hallo as we say in Germany. My name is Jörn Zylla and I come from Germany. I have been a German and English teacher in Hangzhou for almost 4 years now. I especially love the beautiful scenery of Hangzhou and the very interesting history. So now let me introduce you to the museums of Hangzhou. Where should we learn about a city's history, culture and folklore? Let's go find museums. Hangzhou Museum sits at the foot of Wushan Hill, the core of the old city. This is an ideal place to check out the history of the city. Take a step into the South Gallery and you will find before your nose the renowned crystal cup dating from the Warring States. In 1990, a few chimes were found by villagers working at a brick factory. Du Zhengxian, a young man from Hangzhou Institute of Cultural Relics and Archaeology, thought there would be a large tomb under the chimes. Excavation has stopped, but he insisted there must be something left. Eventually, he found a moon tomb aged over 2,000 years. The cup from this tomb is the largest ancient crystal item unearthed in China and the only kind in the world. It is one of the first 64 national treasures not allowed to leave China. The North Gallery consists of several independent exhibition halls. Here you can find writing brushes, ink sticks, paper, ink slabs, brush holders, ink stands, jade pendants, etc. They were all gadgets from men of letters. Hangzhou Museum, with over 10,000 pieces of cultural relics, is a fantastic place that can walk you through the whole splendid history of the city. Tea plays an indispensable role in our life, for the saying that tea is the national drink and Hangzhou is the capital of tea. It's no surprise to find the National Museum about tea and tea culture in Hangzhou. China National Tea Museum was opened in 1991. Its branch museum, Shuangfeng, is mostly for tea culture exhibition, while the other branch, Longjing, offers culture experience. Unlike most world museums, the tea museum is unconventionally enclosed by dense plantings. The vegetation in or around buildings makes the whole space a good-natured, border-free ecosystem. Shuangfeng's exhibition is comprised of 5 parts, namely tea history, tea collection, tea stories, tea set, and tea customs. As tea drinking turned popular in Europe in the 16th century, tea became a principal export in the maritime trade. Göteborg was an ocean-going merchant ship of the Swedish East India Company during the Age of Discovery. The ship set sail with 700 tons of Chinese goods from Guangzhou to Sweden in January 1745. 8 months later, however, it suddenly hit the reef and sank. The Swedish found the shipwreck and salvaged a great amount of tea and fine porcelain in 1984. And 2 samples of the tea are now in the collection of the Tea Museum. The Longjing Branch Museum sits deep in the tea gardens of Wengjiashan. There are many natural stone forests and caves along the way. It would be a journey to enjoy both landscapes and exhibitions, and we would have a chance to check out tea master studios and see how tea plays a part in our life today. The Chinese Knife, Scissors and Sword Museum sits in an age-old quarter along the Grand Canal in the city north. It was converted from the Jiaoxi Specialty Warehouse. We'd better start from the 2nd floor, where you would get exposed to the history of knives, scissors and swords over thousands of years. Then, just get downstairs to the 1st floor to hear the story of Zhang Xiaoquan, a time-honored scissors brand. Zhang Xiaoquan was the heir to a scissors workshop his family had run for generations. In the early 17th century, he moved to Hangzhou and ran a blacksmith shop at the foot of Chenghuang Hill. One day, Zhang Xiaoquan joined a scissors competition. The judge folded 40 pieces of white cloth together and asked the contestants to cut them. Zhang Xiaoquan was the only one that cut all the pieces while the blade was still sharp. He rose to fame overnight. In 1663, he founded the Zhang Xiaoquan Scissors. Now, Zhang Xiaoquan is still a household name 300 years later. The museum would also let you know 2 special techniques in making Zhang Xiaoquan scissors, namely the manual carving and the steel-plated iron forging. On the west of Gongchang Bridge, over the Grand Canal, there's China Fan Museum. The museum boasts a collection of fans of all sizes and functions and tells the history of fans in China. In old days, fan was a gift for friends. A girl or lady away from home must take a fan all the time, and she would cover her face with a fan whenever she had to keep reserved. As early as the 12th century, Hangzhou became a city renowned for the fan-making business. There was even a fan street, and the streetscape is now resumed in the museum. The black paper fan from Wang Xingji was by then the bestseller. In fact, the largest fan in the museum is also from Wang Xingji. It is made of craft paper and stands almost 3 meters high. The fan was first placed in Tiangong Yiyuan, the city's most popular department store. Almost everything was burned in a fire there in 1994, but this black paper fan remains surprisingly intact and thus became a permanent collection in the museum. China Umbrella Museum is located at number 450 Xiaohe Road. It is the world's first museum for umbrella collection. It virtually has rain settings everywhere. For instance, the red umbrellas upside down from the ceiling at the entrance look strikingly beautiful. It was the invention of paper that made umbrella cheap enough for everyone. Some special oil was later applied on the umbrella surface to make it waterproof in rainy days. Westlake silk umbrella, however, is another sort unique to Hangzhou. It has a graceful shape framed with bamboo ribs and silk fabrics, and its tip looks particularly like the stone tower in 3 pools mirroring the moon, a scenic view of the Westlake. In 2008, Westlake silk umbrella became a national, intangible cultural heritage. The stairway to the second floor features an antique alley with a girl standing from the end. It resumes a scenario in Dai Wangshu's poem A Lane in the Rain in the 1920s. There are numerous stories behind umbrellas here in the museum. They are beautiful artifacts, and they somehow stand for a sweet memory of these good old days.
杭州欢迎你